Welcome to Guys. We're here with the Elan I45, which we sold. We just want to go through what we did to the boat after we sat with the client and he asked us to project manage the whole boat and all the additions that we supplied to the boat. Incorporated into the aft structure, we have our davit system that's controlled by a single rope that goes through a rope clutch. So we can lower the dinghy into the water, and then when we want to bring the dinghy back up, we can close the rope clutch, we can put this rope onto the powered winch, and then we can simply lift the tender back up into its position. When the tender is right up, we have these locks to lock the boat into position, so it's not going to go anywhere. The outboard, so it can be lowered onto the tender and lifted back up into position and locked into position, and this goes neatly away and stored in a safe place. On top of our customization of the stainless steel, we've installed a Starlink antenna so that he can have communication wherever he is on the water. Over here we have the antenna for the Navtex, so we're getting updated weather forecasts. We have the solar panels, which are charging our bank of lithium batteries, along with the generator for backup and obviously a water maker, so Miguel can be totally independent wherever he is around the world. One of the most important things when we're sailing is obviously we want protection from the sun, but with the Bimini we also need to have access to see the sails so we can trim the sails. So we built in this window. From the helm you can clearly see the sails, and when it's not being used there's a cover to protect the window from the sun. We were asked to design the spray hood, and obviously we wanted to make sure the client was really comfortable when sailing. So as you can see, I'm sitting here, we've got these extended ears, so in whatever weather I can sit in comfort, and during the night we've installed an LED light into the spray hood so you get good lighting in the cockpit area. So we came up with this idea of an LED strip in the Bimini and in the spray hood, which lights up the whole cockpit. We built a custom pocket for the battery bank that slots into there. It's hidden all the way, and we can access the light switch just here, on and off. The battery bank lasts between 4 to 8 hours. We're going to explain the multi-positioned cockpit table. The beauty of this table is obviously, first of all, access to the interior from the cockpit area. We have immediate access, not only with really good safety. You can walk here in safety to the inside. The second position of the table, the two leaves here are opened. Everyone can sit around the table, but we can still go through the cockpit and into the interior of the yacht. Third position is when we're in harbour or at anchor. We've got a great lunch. We can all sit around the table together with all the leaves open. The fourth position is we can now make a lovely lounge bed covered with cushions, so you can sit here in the sun relaxing. Ergonomics on board a boat are very important, and there are times when you want the winch to fall into the same position all the time. With these winch pocket holders you can simply drop the winch and it falls into the correct position, so it's not in the way of people trying to access the seating area. Now you want to make sure everything is covered to protect it from the sun. Here we've got the covers for the varnished tables. Behind here we've got all the instruments, the wheel, the winch is all protected from a cover. So I'm standing here on the swim platform, and it's at a perfect height for me when I've caught my fish to do the barbecuing, and after all the hard work I can go over here and I can have a really ice cold beer. Cheers. Safety on and off the boat are crucial, and one of the most important things is accessing your boat. Normally you have to climb up onto the boat. We designed these steps so you can simply climb on to the boat. Once you're at sea, it simply folds away, locks into position, and is not in the way. We set the boat up to be a push-button sailing boat. Here on each helm we have all the control buttons for the main, Genoa, Code Zero and Asymmetric. With this system, if we want to open up the main, we simply press main out. If we want to increase the speed, we hold the button down and press the other button, and it doubles the speed of the sail coming out. On board we have a brand new system from Seldén called SMF, Seldén Main Furling. It's a complete push button system. When you push the button, the winch and engine are talking to each other so that the outhaul tension is always controlled, so you never overstretch the bottom of the mainsail. The system has a fail-safe setup. If you try over-tensioning the foot of the sail, the system will switch off. You'll have to reset everything and start again, and then the system will start working. We're going to now open the mainsail using the SMF system. I have the outhaul from the mainsail. I'm wrapping it around the winch, putting it through the self-tailing. I leave it. I'm now going to go back to the controls and operate the mainsail. When we press the button to operate the system, there is a warning sound so that people have no hands around the winch. This is the new winch from Seldén. It's the ART, Asymmetric Rib Technology. Basically, these ribs, as you can see, are asymmetrically distanced, so it gives a good grip on the rope and also doesn't damage the rope. The winch serves for two purposes. It works as a winch, manually and electrically, and also functions with the mainsail to open up the mainsail. The winch is 3 speeds. 1 speed, 2nd speed, and we also have a 3rd speed. One of my biggest concerns for a cruising boat is how quickly we can sail, because obviously all boats are a compromise. If you're a racing boat, there's nothing on board. If you're a cruising boat, she's heavy, and so she's going to go a little bit slower. So we have to find a solution to make sure you're cruising but at a nice speed, and this is what we've done. We've introduced a Code Zero and an Asymmetric Spinnaker, all electrically operated, so you can have a lot of fun on board the boat. Most important thing here is to make sure the halyard is clear to the top. It's not wrapped around anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect the sail up and connect it to here, connect it to the halyard, and then we were going to hoist the whole system. And whenever we're hoisting the sail, always check it's not catching anywhere. Crucial. Sail's in the bag. It's outside of all the sheeting. I'm going to put the pin in here and make sure it is securely in position, clipping it into place. Take this one, okay, that one's over there, to the front of the furling unit. Thank you. We can use electric winch to hoist the Code Zero. What's really important when you're using any electrical winches is to have a crew member forward, making sure nothing is getting snagged. To make life safe and easier, it's always a great idea to pre-mark your halyard so you know exactly where you need to go. We've set up here Code Zero, black line, and further down we've got the point for the asymmetric. And action! Okay, open her up. Wonderful. Okay, let's close her. Lovely. Miguel, was that just 1 speed?
What speed?
Just to show how it does 2 speeds.
Okay.
Lovely. Okay, and now close.
Okay.
Ready when you are. Wow.
Italian speciality.
And the nice part of sailing.
Yeah.
Cheers, Miguel.
Some carpaccio.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.